If I may hear the charges.
Charges?
I understand there are certain charges.
Oh, some ambiguities of behavior I should like to clarify. Hardly charges.
Make a note of that, will you, Masteer Rich? There are no charges.
Sir Thomas, no. It amazes me that you, who were once so much a part of the world and are now so retired from it, should be opposing yourself to the whole movement of the times.
It amazes me, too.
The king is not pleased with you.
I am grieved.
Yet, even now, you could bring yourself to agree with the universities, the bishops, and the parliament of the realm. There is no honor which the king would likely deny you.
I am well acquainted with His Grace's generosity.
Very well. You are acquainted with the so-called Maid of Kent who was executed for prophesying against the king?
She was ignorant and misguided. She was a bit mad, I think. And she's paid for her folly. Naturally, I sympathize with her.
You knew her, you met her, yet you did not warn His Majesty of her treason. How was that?
Treason? She spoke no treason. Our conversations were not political.
My dear Moore, the woman was notorious. You don't expect me to believe that.
Happily, there are witnesses.
You wrote a letter to her.
Yes, I wrote advising her to abstain from meddling with the affairs of the princes and the state. I have a copy of that letter, also witnessed.
You have been cautious.
I like to keep my affairs regular.
Sir Thomas, there's a more serious charge.
Charge?
Well, a lack of a better word. Yes. In the May of 1526, a book was published under the king's name, a theological work entitled Defense of the Seven Sacraments.
Yes, and for this he was named Defender of the Faith by His Holiness the Pope.
By the Bishop of Rome. Do you prefer Pope?
Bishop of Rome is fine if you like, but it doesn't alter his authority.
Thank you. Yes, you get to the point quite readily. Yes, just what is the Bishop of Rome's authority as regards the church in Europe? Or more precisely, as regarding the church in England. Just what is the Bishop of Rome's authority?
You will find it very ably set out and defended, Master Secretary, in the King's Book.
The book published under the king's name. You wrote that book.
I wrote no part of it.
Oh, I don't mean you actually held the pen.
I merely answered to the best of my ability certain questions that I was asked about canon law by His Majesty, as I was bound to do.
Sir Thomas More, is there anything you wish to say to me regarding the king's marriage with Queen Anne?
I understood that I was not to be asked that again.
Well, you apparently understood wrongly. These charges...
They are terrors for children, Master Secretary. An empty cupboard to frighten children in the dark. Not me.
Yes. Yes. Very apt, Sir Thomas, yes. Very apt. In order to frighten a man, there must be something in the cupboard, must there not?
Yes. And there is nothing in it.
So, for the moment, what is this? I charge you with great ingratitude. I remind you of many gifts graciously given and ill received. I say that no king of England has ever, nor could ever have so villainous a servant, nor so traitorous a subject as yourself. The words are not mine, Sir Thomas, but the king's. Believe that.
do. I recognize the style. So, I have been brought here at last.
Brought? You brought yourself to where you now stand.
Yes, still in another sense, I was brought.
Oh, yes. Well, you may go home for now. I don't like him as much as I once did. There is a man that raises the gale but won't come out of the harbor.